What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, if so, to another market update video here at Benefit Central. I'm Benjamin, and today Bitcoin in the S&P charts. But before I get right into the market, please leave a like, drop a comment, and if you can subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Honestly, everybody, we did end up breaking bullish, how I anticipated. We were having a bit of a bearish return and bounce. However, they ended up reversing at around 1650, and as well as around for the past daily, yesterday, I believe, before we ended up getting that close. Bullish, obviously we did bounce off of 1600 as shown right here, so obviously flipping towards the bullish side off of our 50 moving average. We did catch that last play, I believe it was around 1580 that we hopped in, and then hopped in towards 1600 as well. We do have our long set in as of right now. I do believe we're going to try to push one more in at around 1705 or 1700 at least, to try to see if we can get a continuation of this momentum. It is around 12, so lately I've been waiting till the daily close, just a bit more into the close, more like at around 430, 440. Just still trying to avoid swapping fees, of course, and holding that long into the next daily just because of what can happen and immediately get a reversal just real quick before we can continue. You can take profits and then actually get in on that entry, so you can secure profits and continue forth with the momentum. But as of right now, we still have our trade right now for Bitcoin. As you can tell, we're bouncing off our 200 right now on the 15-minute. I do like to watch these on the 15-minute. It's like a live, more accurate piece of data that you can kind of go off of. From the 15-minute and up, realistically, you can count on. Anything below is more live and more, I know that's what I said about the 15, but it's more, it's kind of hard to explain. It's too fast, it's too volatile. It's more for like exits. It can be for entries as well, the 1 minute and 5 minutes, but definitely it's just to see what is temporarily going on in the short term, just to know your direction of what is happening if you're oversold. Honestly, it can be for entries too, because if you are overbought and you're looking to long, maybe you should wait a minute for it to at least come back down. If you do see it try to push the 70, because I have the 30 and 70 for overbought and oversold, then you would anticipate that you would try to push into it as well. Like I'm waiting for 1700. I should have been in by now, but with another long, but I'm still waiting for that 1700. However, jumping into the charts for the daily, just want to go over a few things just because it seems like we are getting a tad bit weak. We are strong, however, it seems like this, what I mean by that is that this push up seems to be a bit fragile. It doesn't necessarily seem like it is completely solidified. I know a lot of people would disagree because of our checking for support and then pushing, checking for support and pushing. However, I just disagree with this just because of how weak these candles are. They're not necessarily, they're great closes, don't get me wrong, but they're not necessarily full length bars like we've seen here and continuously seen. You know what I mean? We have bars that will push us up, but this can get well, as of lately they haven't been too strong, but because we've been more in a bearish trend. But these are just a bit weak of a candle. I would like to see these just a tad bit larger. However, just because we are pushing the 1700, we can expect a 1750 if we break through. I know we've wicked through it in this daily candle at least a few times, but I mean, if we can eventually get a close for our daily, that would at least lead us and push more bullish momentum. Sure, we'd probably find a bounce or a retracement on 1700 if we closed above it, on 1700 maybe wick below it, and then see that next daily candle probably most likely continue because we close above 1700. However, there are false breaks and there are things that happen in the market as well, so you always have to be ready and cautious just for big Fed movement, and as well as whale movement, just any kind of crazy volatile movements that when we get to certain price tags. That's just why I haven't re-entered just yet around the 1700. I don't know if we're treating this as resistance or if we are using this to consolidate a bit, reset the RSI, and then get ready to launch forward. So I am still waiting on that excuse me, for that confirmation. However, diving on to the weekly just to show you how we're looking, not really too much different, however, just holding that bottom here. What I am really liking for the hourly though for Ethereum is we are getting this push right here. As you can tell, the next 8 minutes we're going to see that we either close above 1700 or we decide to close below it, kind of negating this good cross that we're having right here if we continue to break to the downside. We were just previously overbought, so it was a little interesting, honestly, just because we did spike through it, like I said, for a little bit, and then we came back down. But honestly, we are moving bullish. This was an ascending channel that I thought honestly we were going to break towards the downside. However, after that bullish cross, honestly, we still continued, and now facing obvious contact with our 200 moving average, and the rest of our moving averages are 20 and our 50. But other than that, realistically, we are just trying to see how the rest of this week plays out and the rest of this month while we have a few days left in it, just to see where we end up leading, if we can at least stay above our 200 moving average for Ethereum. And plus we have this merge as well as tomorrow as well, or not the merge, but we have our meeting, I believe for, what was it? I believe for data from the feds. I'll have more about that in the description below. Right now I can't recall on it, but I know that we have a very, very important Friday. I've been updating everybody on it on Twitter and all my social medias. If you guys would like to, you guys could check that out. However, excuse me, I was trying to catch everybody up on certain pieces of data, and they're saying that they can't necessarily find certain ones. If you guys do hit the link tree, link in my bio, you guys will end up seeing that I have all my pieces of media there, and you guys can follow everything there. But do excuse me for my voice. I have been up pretty late for a few nights now, tracking everything and making sure everybody has the content, as well as talking to everybody on Twitter. I do have a few lives that I will do on Twitter as well. But honestly, I am a little bit, worn out. Just been trying to push as much content and trying to help everybody as much as possible. But other than that, we're going to dive right into. Let's try to get our other charts here. If we can, let's go here. Let's go to horizontal. We'll go to Bitcoin. Check on Bitcoin today, just for just Ethereum and Bitcoin today. We did have the S&P 500 continue as well, so we'll check on that before I head out as well. But looking at Bitcoin up here, we do have this ascending channel that we did have, and then ended up breaking bearish, obviously, and now we're creating this new one that I'm about to show you guys. So realistically, what we need to do is we need to close above our 21,500 as long as we can. Like I said, we've kind of struggled. Like I did say this in the last video, we'll continue bullish obviously if we didn't close above 21,500, but like I had said in the last video, I didn't like how we were closing so flatlined at the 21,500, and it seemed too weak. And then now looking at this, I could show you XRP if you guys would like to, but XRP is looking just as weak. And if you look at this RBI formation, it just wasn't as strong necessarily, unless we can see a good reversal here pretty soon. It just wasn't enough momentum to push us and keep it, like convince me to keep us going, obviously, because we are about to obviously anticipate this bearish cross right here, which could most likely push us down, as well as having that head and shoulders pattern that we saw in Ethereum that I can bring up for you guys if you guys would like before I continue. This head and shoulders pattern right here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right here would be the 50%, I believe, on the Fibonacci retracement from that pump, and we would actually end up 50 right here, or from the dump, excuse me, and we'd end up right here and then pushing back much further, creating that right shoulder and actually continuing this dump. And then if we break resistances and support, then we will continue much further and actually completing out what I called a while back was this weak uptrend that we have, but obvious relief rally, unless we can continue bullish and we can get ahead of certain resistances and try to conquer different levels. The more levels we conquer, obviously, and close above, excuse me, we can obviously see more bullish movement to the upside. But other than that, everybody, I'm going to just show you a little bit off of Bitcoin on what I think, because we do have this bearish cross happening on the daily, which I do not like. However, on the weekly, we do still have this continuation that can continue, that can occur, honestly, with all our indicators kind of curling downward. We are extremely oversold, not extremely, but oversold, of course, on the weekly. Maybe creating a double bottom here, that would be great. However, diving into the monthly, we do have that leg down that we still are anticipating if it does not hold 50% like it is at around 2100. If we end up breaking 2100 and we realistically have nothing else holding us, I believe, until all the way right here at around the support, then wick. If we break wick, then of course, then we're going to see this completion of the RBI, or GBI, excuse me, and the markets will end up break a bit more to the downside. However, looking in on the weekly, just for you guys, not the weekly, sorry about that, on the daily, just to go over this a bit more. So a lot of people just are confused. I'm trying to throw a bit more tactics on what I necessarily look for inside these market update videos, just because a few people are mixed up on what I look for. I do have the live streams, and I do have other forms that I can get, you guys can get a hold of me, but I do have you guys, I noticed a few of you guys are watching these videos as well. So right here, Obviously through the dump you become oversold. Right here, obviously on the RSI you see it as well. Become oversold. Now that you become oversold, you obviously are looking for a trend switch. If we cannot hold this, because sometimes you can go into the extremely oversold. However, if we become oversold, you look for an entry for a reversal. That's usually where a bull 180 or bear 180, depending on which side it is, bullish or bearish, will come in. And this is the bull 180 right here, right above neckline of this close or open of the bearish candle. You would enter and you would hold until you realistically felt that it was going to reverse. If your stop loss was 2100, usually I do the bottom of the candle or the wick of the last candle. I try to stay away from wicks because sometimes they can wick pretty damn far, but I usually will do either the close of the last candle for the bull 180. So stop is here, entries here. Usually will come, fluctuate, you're not out yet, not stopped out yet, and you're still in profit technically from this bull 180 that we saw on the reversal. And if that wasn't enough for you, then you get an RBI right here, and you get above here, above neckline. This is an RBI, red bar ignored, pushed up, ignore the red bar, and then with momentum, with this bullish momentum, you're technically creating another bull 180. It's just obvious, another confirmation because there's previous bullish activity, so you feel more secure with this movement. And then you get in above close of the red bar, obvious, and then now you'd be in profit as well, almost touching 22,000, or even still waiting it out. Now you're at around 21,500, still almost break even. But honestly, that is realistically just how I would have played that as of right now. I didn't play Bitcoin too aggressively lately, just because the news has been more on Ethereum and its merge. Obviously, Bitcoin is our king when it's moving in crypto and is technically still leading us. However, I do anticipate that Ethereum is going to have a bit to say about that and do about that. Do be cautious with what's happening in the short term right now if you guys are trading by the time this is up, just because sometimes it takes me just a few minutes to upload the video. However, it does look like we're about to get a squeeze either to the downside or the upside real quick, just with this consolidation and the squeeze of the indicators. However, and we have this acorn and RBI trying to form if we can't hold this 50 moving average, as well as this new hourly we just got opened that we closed above 1700. Very interesting price action, as well as going down below. Very interesting. Other than that, everybody, though, that was just another quick market update video for you guys. I do anticipate that we do continue towards the bullish upside. However, if we fail to hold our halves and wholes, 1700 and 1750, that's when you'll start to see us start to return to the downside again and retrace back. But as of right now, I'm saying 1750 for Ethereum and for Bitcoin 22,000. If we cannot close above these price tags, then obviously we're going to continue lower and see that lower leg. If we can, however, then we will obviously see our bullish return to the upside. But other than that, that was just another quick market update video for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.